Hello, my name is Father Joseph Hirsch from the Office of Vocations. I'd like to tell you a little story that we use. This is something that I learned way back when I was in college, when I first started going on retreats, but it has spoken to me ever since. A story about a good guy and a bad guy. It's the ticket to heaven. Two men, good guy, bad guy. They get up to heaven. They're at heaven's gate. St. Peter's collecting the tickets. They're in a long line. And the bad guy looks at the good guy and says, "Hey, what's that you got in your hand?" And the good guy says, "Well, it's a ticket." He says, I see that the people who have the ticket, they go in the right door. People without a ticket go in the left door. And so that would be heaven, and that's got to be hell. And the bad guy says, "Oh, yeah, I know that too. I went to religion class all the time." And he says, "I got my ticket." But he says, "You know, my ticket, I don't show it to people. I keep my ticket back here. I keep my ticket." Well, I like to practice humility, not pride. So anyway, the bad guy says, "I got to go off and pray for a while. I'll be right back." So the bad guy goes off to the side and he says, "I got to figure out a way of getting into heaven. I don't have a ticket." So he said, "I got an idea." He goes to the very edge of the cloud. And then at the edge of the cloud, he says, "Oh God, oh God." He didn't know how to pray, so that's about as far as he could go. And then finally he says, "Oh my God." And he looks over and the good guy's looking. And he says, "Oh my God," he says, I lost my ticket." He said, "It fell tumbling. I was holding it. I was just praising God. And it fell tumbling down to the earth. And now I don't even have a ticket. What am I going to do?" And the good guy says, "I'd like to help you, but I don't have anything here." The bad guy says, "I have an idea. If you could just give me part of your ticket." He says, "Look, I'll just take a tiny corner of your ticket. I get to go into heaven. You get to go to heaven. So that's all." "Wait a minute," he says. "I think somewhere it says, share what you have and share a lot. Could you just share a little bit?" And he grabbed that ticket and he took a little bit more. And now the bad guy says, "I have enough to be able to get to heaven. You have enough to get into heaven." Oh, he says, "I'm so excited." He said, I got to go tell somebody." So he leaves the good guy and he runs to the head of the line. He gets right up to St. Peter and he says, "St. Peter, I got my ticket. I want to get in right now." Because he was thinking, I don't want to be near this guy because Peter might be able to figure it out. I want to get in first. Whatever happens to that other guy, I could care less. "Peter, this is my ticket. I want to get in right now." Peter says, "I don't know if I like that ticket." The bad guy says, "This is my ticket. I lived my whole life for Jesus. I want to get into heaven now." Peter says, "Why is it damaged?" He said, "Well, I'll tell you what." He said, "I stopped in purgatory. Not that I had to go there, but I saw people saying, 'Water, water.' They needed help. So I helped them. My ticket got a little bent up, but don't worry, it's my ticket. I earned it. I deserve it." Peter said, "It's your ticket. You earned it. You deserve it. Those are your words." So what Peter did is he took that ticket and Peter started to arrange the pieces. And as he opened it up and as he reveals the message, he explains it and he says, "When you were born and baptized, the Lord made a covenant with you. The Lord made a promise to you in that sacrament. And the Lord said, 'I will save you, but you have to cooperate with me.' In that sense, our level of cooperation or lack of cooperation, that affects our salvation. And so let's see what your ticket says." And he keeps putting the pieces in order. Finally, Peter says, "This ticket says that you have to go to hell." He says, "Jesus is very sad today because he had a place for you in heaven. But by your own choices, you chose against the Lord, and therefore I cannot change your destiny." The bad man went to hell. Now the good man comes. The good man says, finally, as he comes up to the line of Peter, he says, "I am so sorry." He says, "Look, my ticket, it's destroyed." Peter said, "It is damaged." The good guy said, "I didn't even know I was trying to that I was helping a bad guy to get to heaven." Peter said, "Did you live your life for Jesus?" He said, "I did." He said, "I gave my life completely to the Lord." Peter said, "He will read your soul. I want you to open up your ticket." He said, "I want you to say the same thing. It's my ticket. I earned it. I deserve it." The good guy says, "I I'm in God's hands. This is my ticket. I earned it. I deserve it. He opened up his ticket slowly. And as he opened it up, he saw the cross. Peter said, clearly it is God who saves you. It is God who saves you, but we cooperate in the work of salvation. And that even though you weren't perfect, you gave your life and the Lord was able to save you. Welcome home. A story like this, why is it of value? Why does it make us think? We only have one life. I only have one ticket. I cannot save myself. God makes the promise to us in our baptism that he will save us, but we have to cooperate with his grace. Our first vocation is to holiness. Our first vocation is to give ourselves to Jesus Christ, surrender ourselves. Don't waste your life. Don't say, well, I want to have fun first. No, you don't have two tickets. You only have one. Let's ask God for that grace to be strong and to follow him and to take Jesus serious. And in that relationship, allow him to save you and guide you. Thanks for listening. At this time, I want to be able to show you how to do this trick called the ticket to heaven. The reason that I think it is good for you to learn how to do it is it becomes a kind of show and tell that you can do with your friends, and every time that you do it, you reinforce the message of what this is trying to say, of living our life with a sense of purpose and commitment to Christ. We start off with just a sheet of paper. Take the right-hand corner, bring it down. Once you have that, you bring this corner down, and it looks like a house. We fold the ticket in half, and now you're ready to begin. When you do the trick or the story, you rip from this position. Here there's too many thicknesses, so start from here and then just come on down about 1/3 or 1/4 of the way. That's the bad guy's first part. This is the bad guy's second part. That is the bad man's ticket. This is the good man's ticket. And then from there, you take the pieces apart and spell them out. Thank you for listening, and enjoy doing this story with your friends.